Solving equations with variables on both sides. Alright, our first concept is that same thing. We're looking at equations where we have variables on both sides of the equal sign. If we look back at some of the things that we've been solving in this chapter previously, adding variables on both sides doesn't really change that much. Okay, we have our two variables here. Those are like terms. We're going to combine them. 1x plus 3x is 4x equals 24. Okay, we've combined our like terms. Our variable is isolated. Now we're going to solve. Divide by 4 for each side. X equals 24 over 4, or 6. Okay? Now, with variables on both sides, you need to get all your like terms on the same side. Okay? So you're going to choose one side to move your variables to. Alright? The way I do this, and the way I suggest you guys do this, is... Oops, I'm going to change this a little bit. Maybe. There we go. Is that if you have a negative value of x, okay, one of your variables is negative, or just whichever one is lesser, okay, the lesser value is the one you're going to move. This way you're always going to end up with a positive value for x. Alright? Won't make a huge difference because you'll still probably have to divide by a number to isolate it, right? Or once it's isolated, divide by a number to solve it. Okay? But it's just easier to eliminate those negative values at the start. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I've got to get my variables to the same side. I'm going to choose this side to move them to because this is a negative. So I'm going to add 3x. Add 3x. That cancels. X plus 3x is 4x equals 24. And we know the rest. Okay? So really, there's only one small step that is added when you have variables on both sides, and that's that you're moving all your variables to one side. Okay? And if we look at our steps, that's exactly what we have. We are moving all our variables to one side of the equation. Then we're combining like terms, and then we're solving for the variable. Okay? So now for this one, we're actually looking at something that's a little bit different. Okay? I have a positive 3x here, and I have a 2x minus 7x. So this is actually going to be a negative 5x when I combine these. So this actually is the lesser value for my variable. But because I just have one of my variables here, it's going to be easy, and I have my constant here, it's going to be easier for me to just move this variable over. I will have to deal with the negative number, but it's going to be less steps and easier for me to do that than to move both of these over and then to move this constant over. Okay? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to subtract 3x minus 3x, and I get 4 is equal to 2x x minus 7x minus 3x. Okay. 2x minus 7x is going to be a negative 5x. And then negative 5 minus 3 is going to make it a larger negative number. Or 5 plus 3 is 8, so negative 8x. So I have 4 is equal to negative 8x. And as I said, we do have this negative there, but we can still divide it away. Divide by negative 8, divide by negative 8, and get x is equal to 4 over negative 8, or negative 1 over 2. Okay? And that works just fine. Alright, last example for this video. Now we've got some fractions again. And we are going to do the same thing we did last lesson. When we have fractions, we're going to look at them. We're going to say, okay, what are my denominators? Well, my least common denominator is going to be 3 because I have two terms that have 3 in the denominator. I'm going to multiply everything by 3. 3 times 3. These cancel, so I have negative 1x. 3 times 5 is 15x equals 3 times 4 is 12, plus these cancel, and I have 8x. Okay? Now move all your variables to the same side. Again, I've got a really big, large number of x over here and a smaller number over here, even though it's positive. These combined are going to be larger, so I'm going to move this one away. So I'm going to subtract 8x, subtract 8x, let's cancel, and now I have, I'm going to bring my positive one to the front, 15x minus 1x minus 8x equals 12. 15 minus 1 is 14. 14 minus 8 is 6. So I've got 6x is equal to 12. And divide by 6, divide by 6. And I have x is equal to 12 over 6, or